Yo, what's up? What's good? Welcome to Uncut and Unapologetic. You guys are in for a treat today. You want to know why? Because this is my very first episode. Yeah, that's right. Very first one. Um, I'm not gonna bore you. I'm not gonna bore you. We're gonna jump right into it. And today, I decided to talk about life after heartbreak. What does that even mean, right? What is life after heartbreak? Well, for some people, there's a healing process that needs to go on. For others, it's back to the dating scene, back to that dating pool with a whole bunch of pee in it. Yeah, unhealed and sometimes unbothered. They just go on to the next. But for people like myself who get attached, who find genuine connections, even if it's only on our side, there's a process. And some of us don't know how to let go. For some of us, that's the most difficult part. We're dealing with what we have to do to just finally move on. How can you move on? And before I even tell you how to move on, I want to talk about certain things that make me stagnant, why it's hard for me to even do those things to move on. One of the major things for me is the disappointment. I thought we had something. I thought you and I were good together. And another part is rejection. I can't believe that you don't want me. Yo, that is difficult to deal with in itself. The rejection sometimes is the hardest. We make excuses for that other person. We tell ourselves, no, 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 no. It was my fault. This person is good. Maybe I should have done this. Maybe I should have communicated better. Maybe I should have called more. Or maybe I should have called less. Maybe I should have dressed up. Maybe I should have did that threesome. Maybe I should have done whatever they asked me to do and they would still want me. A lot of times we forget that that is part of life. Rejection is part of life. You're going to hear no, even in a relationship. When a relationship is over, that rejection sets in that this person no longer wants you. And a lot of times, what we do is we try to make this person want us. You try to fix yourself up differently so this person can say, okay, I want you back. I'm sorry. But that's not what we should be thinking. If they had you and they fumbled, then they weren't worth your time in the first place. They don't deserve you. It's that simple. I'm going to be honest with you. I can say a lot, but in my younger years, that's what got me caught up. I couldn't deal with the rejection. I couldn't deal with someone saying no, someone not wanting me again. I had a plethora of females I could choose from. So even if one said no, it kind of shocked me. Like, wait a minute, you don't want this? Yeah, they don't want that, baby. They don't. Once you get past the rejection stage and you stop telling yourself that you're not enough, when you stop being disappointed in your actions, then there's another part that comes in, and that's that failure. That failure sets in. This is a failed relationship. This is a failed situationship. This is a failed talking stage. This is a failed marriage. Those are huge words. And a lot of times we put that pressure on ourselves when we shouldn't. It's not our fault that someone decides they don't want us anymore. Now, if you've done things such as stepped out of the relationship or, disrespected that person, um, verbally or physically abusive, then those are things that you need to work on and you need therapy for. But if you haven't done anything other than be a human, you know what I'm saying? Other than be a normal person, relationships are going to be ups and downs, right? There's going to be things that they could have done, that you could have done, that you've done too much of, that you've been the best that you have ever been, and they still don't want you. But you have to be able to accept the failure. That doesn't make you a failure. The situation was a failure, but turn that situation into a lesson learned. And that's how it gets easier to move on, right? You can cry, you can scream, you can listen to nothing but sad R&B or watch sad movies, watch The Notebook, watch whatever you want to watch, cry it out, and then move on. Get up, wipe your tears, and move on. The reason why I say it's not just a relationship when it comes to, being together, right? There's times where you guys weren't anything, it wasn't a committed relationship, right? You guys didn't have a title or something like that. It's still a relationship. You still shared thoughts and dreams and hopes and all these different type of things with these people, even if you didn't verbalize them. There still was an emotional connection or a spiritual connection of some sort with this other person. So that heartbreak is going to feel the exact same way. You talking to somebody on the phone, long distance, 4 or 5, 6, 7, 8 months in, seeing this person every single day, chilling with them after work or seeing them on the weekends. It's going to be a buildup. Emotions get involved. But you have to remain cool, remain calm, and remember, hey, number one, it's not my fault. Number two, whatever happened, it happened. There's an ED. It's past tense. Even if you're feeling it now, it's still in the past. Don't try to dig up anything. That's why things are buried. Things are buried for a reason. When people die, we bury them, right? So why are you trying to dig up dead people? Think about that. That relationship is dead. Why are you trying to dig it back up? Even if you dig it back up, it's still going to be dead. You can't revive it. It's gone. It's done. So that's how I feel when it comes to relationships, when it comes to situationships. That's how I feel. It's going to hurt. We're going to miss that person. And it's okay to grieve a situation, depending on how long you've been in that relationship, depending on how long you've been with that person or how much you've loved that person or done for that person. It is okay to grieve. Don't let anyone tell you it's not. But just keep in mind, you have to make sure you still take care of you when it's all said and done. You got to keep yourself on track. You got to keep telling yourself this person was not worth who I am today. This person didn't deserve the love that I had to give. Keep telling yourself these things because it's going to help. And you got to let it go. I know it's easier said than done, but you have to let it go. Another thing that I want to bring up is, and I don't know if you go through this, but I've done it before. I convinced myself that maybe it was wrong timing, that this person will realize how much I meant to them and they'll get it right. I don't know about you, but I've done this before. And let me explain. So I was talking to this girl, right? This was a few years back, but I was talking to this girl and we just couldn't get it right. We couldn't get it right together. It just wasn't happening. She was to me, she was a really, cool female. I mean, she was put together. She had her own business. She had a lot of things going for herself. Amazing woman, right? But she just had problems with commitment. And I don't mean as in she's stepping out in a relationship because we weren't in a relationship. We were just dating. But it was a back and forth with her. she couldn't decide. You know, one minute she wants to be with me, the next minute she wants to be single. One minute she wants to be with me, and then it's back to, nah, I just want a hot girl summer. When we finally called it quits, and I couldn't take it no more. I couldn't take the back and forth. It was too stressful for me. But when we finally called it quits, I had convinced myself that it was wrong timing. I had convinced myself that maybe, give it a little time and she'll be ready for a relationship. I had convinced myself that that's why she keeps going back and forth, right? That's why she can't make up her mind, because it's just wrong timing. We'll be okay. We'll be fine. And then it hit me. No, she's just not ready for a relationship with me. It had nothing to do with timing. If that woman truly wanted me, nothing could have stopped her. We could have made it happen. We could have been committed to each other. We could have made it work. The back and forth was not because, oh, it's wrong timing. The back and forth was she wasn't sure with me if this is who she wanted. And when someone is in that state, right? When someone is confused, the only thing they can do is confuse you. That's it. That's it. The only thing they can do is confuse you. You have to let them go. It's that simple. I always make a saying. I always say, if you can't choose, I'll choose for you. I got that from my mama, by the way. She used to say that. But seriously, if you can't choose, baby, I'll choose for you. I'll throw up the deuces and may the best person that comes in your life have you. But I'm going to find someone for me. That's another way that I look at things. So now that I've gotten past that stage, once again, it's that rejection, it's that disappointment, it's that all these different emotions, all these different feelings all at once. You have to accept them all. And then once you accept all of that, you start telling yourself how amazing you are, what you're capable of, and learn to build yourself up enough to where you're not putting yourself out there completely. Okay? Listen when I say putting yourself out there completely. Me personally, I always try to step into a situation and not lose myself while I'm in it. Hear me out. When I step into a situation, I make sure I'm not losing myself while I'm in it. When I step out of that situation, I still have me at the end of the day. So you have to make sure that you're not overextending yourself when you're in these situations with these people. Make sure you're not giving up all of your finances, or make sure you're not putting yourself in debt or doing all these different things to where if you do split from this person, you're no longer whole. Mm-mm. Nah, baby, we ain't trying to do that. So keep that in mind. That's a little nugget for you, man. It's been helping me along the way for a couple of years. I try my hardest to make sure every situation I step in, I step out of it the exact same way. And the only thing that's still hurting is my heart. But that's why I go through them different steps of that acceptance. And then I start to move on. I start to heal. I start to give myself those affirmations, letting myself know that I am enough, that this person didn't deserve me, that I can't let them spin the block. Right? Nah, baby. Once this door shuts, I'm going to lock it behind you. Man, I appreciate y'all. Until we meet again, remember, this is the first episode ever. So y'all tell me how I did in the comments, man. Like, share, subscribe. Run me up. I appreciate y'all. I love y'all. Until we do it again, baby. Peace.